And welcome back to the channel, folks. Today we take a look at the Duluth Depot in Duluth, Minnesota, built in 1892. I will be reading from an article from the Zenith Press Archives, which is a Duluth area history publishing house and online resource dedicated to celebrating historic Duluth and the Western Lake Superior region. The website is zenithcity.com. By 1889, the original depot was too small to serve Duluth's needs. That's when a conglomerate of 6 railroads came together to create the Duluth Union Depot Company. They had chosen a site that was directly in front of the 1870 wooden depot and had a crew blasting out the foundation by February of 1890. They also hired famed Boston architects Peabody and Stearns, who in May of 1890 turned in plans for a 3-story building, 420 feet long and 220 feet wide, with a, quote, Renaissance period design, which apparently meant several towers, including a central clock tower designed to reach 150 feet into the air. The News Tribune reported the tower would be capped with a statue representing, quote, Duluth. The paper was not impressed. Quote, just how Duluth, in quotations, looks in a statue is something of a conundrum, end quote. A month later, the paper attacked the depot's builders for working much too slow to replace the old depot, calling the old building, quote, unbearable and disgraceful, and stated that, quote, the average Duluthian would prefer to receive 20,000 visitors a month, hence in a circus tent, rather than the ridiculous tumble-down shanty that, at present, serves as a very worrisome policy for a Union depot, end quote. Perhaps the construction had slowed while the architect's plans were being revised. A new design eliminated the central clock tower and its, quote, Duluth statue, but the plan remained elaborate, patterned after a French Norman-style chateau. Steeped roofs, heavy round towers, and dormers. It was faced with yellow brick, limestone, granite, and sandstone. The 3-story building was 203 feet long and 70 feet wide, much smaller than the first design. On October 15, 1891, depot officials moved into their offices in the new building. The new depot officially opened March of 1892. It's interesting how that exact year, less than a mile away, built in the exact time frame, was Duluth Central High School with its clock tower that everyone had always loved. Yet the newspaper and public sentiment was against the private railroad companies building a clock tower on the depot. Seems odd. The interior of this place was amazing. These old world buildings always have impressive interiors. There certainly are a lot of arches and columns in the motif. How did our dirt road having, horse and buggy driving ancestors build vaulted ceilings like this? And why? How was this needed in 1890 for a train station? How would it be needed in 2024 for a train station? I tend to run into this flower design on the majority of old world buildings. Do you think these old world fireplaces were originally designed to burn wood? So let's quick recap the official timeline here. February of 1890, they started to blast out the foundation for this building. May of 1890, the plans were submitted from the architects, but they were mocked and derided by the people of Duluth and the Duluth News-Tribune newspaper. So they redesigned the building and resubmitted it, and they didn't give a specific time on when it was resubmitted, but we're to assume sometime that summer the building began, and construction ended in 1891 of the building. That's when everyone moved in, and that would have been about a year later. And it's interesting that the News-Tribune was complaining that this project was taking too long. It's also interesting that they say in 1890, in February, we decided to start blasting the foundation. I've never heard of a construction project in northern Minnesota when the ground is frozen that starts excavating or blasting during February. For some reason, I find these brick arches in this room area just gorgeous. Apparently, the employees at the St. Louis County Historical Museum here at the depot have no idea where this griffin statue came from. Pretty interesting. Thanks again for watching, everyone. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe.